As I stand here, I was reflecting what you say when everything has been said. Now, I make an assumption that everyone present here have come to know that in United States of America, from today onwards, maybe yesterday onwards, Trump has become the president. That everyone knows, I think January 20th. I happened to be at home in the evening. So I chanced upon seeing the TV, and there was the inaugural address of Trump, Donald Trump, and from Capitol Hill. So I got interested. I had nothing else to do. I was watching. As he said, my mind, he said so many things. You must have read in newspaper also. He said, America is for Americans. The jobs hereafter will be, in the manufacturing sector, will be for Americans. The countries with which, I am not quoting his words, I may not remember. The countries with which America doesn't have good relationships, I think with their citizens, they cannot come here. On immigration issues and something he said about fundamentalists and all. I'm not going into all that. When he was saying this, a person who is so powerful on this earth, I was thinking, he's saying something to be excluded. He was almost trying to build a wall around USA, excluding. I have no control what he will do, he can do that. But as the speech progressed, and America, my understanding is I have never visited the place, many people have visited. Now, it is digitally or technologically, people are possibly far advanced. This financial inclusion, the way we are doing with the thumb or voice or whatever we are doing, I think it is being done. This is my assumption. Even within that, a person like Trump, he said that people have not, the benefits which are intended for them, it has not reached them. The livelihoods which they are doing, maybe it looks to us, if I find the lowest livelihood there, in terms of dollars, we may find he's a pretty well-off person. No. Given the standards of transactions which are required there, you have to do insurance, without that you can't access any health service or whatever. So, given that standard, people are yet to be included in a more comprehensive way. So, that brought me that when it comes to a state like this, a country like this, inclusion as a requirement, as an action plan, how much priority, how much intensity it has to move. So, I was thinking of this workshop. I have some inclusive effort someone has made. I will share the, yes, but inclusion is actually, inclusion is life. Someone has said the exclusion is death. Now, we need to look at the total picture. Financial inclusion is actually, in my opinion, is a subset of livelihood inclusion. Eventually, supposing you do transactionally, because of the technology which is available now and it is growing, with Jan Dhan scheme, in one fiat, if the government gives a post or the RBI gives a post and the banks oblige, in a month, the 10 million accounts have been opened. So many, you can reach out, these are possible because of the technology, it was not possible earlier. Now these are transactional things which has happened. But what needs to be done for students who are behind, what I am saying is, transactionally the data may emerge because of technology, so many accounts have been opened, so many things have happened. But to transform their life to whom we are trying to reach, it requires a different type of intervention. As someone said here, technology, literacy can in some way influence the financial literacy. But technology per se, technology literacy cannot do full of financial inclusion. Even if someone has helped me opening an account, someone has helped me 12 rupees is deducted because I have 100 rupees, they have deducted 12 rupees and provided some insurance. But I am simply not aware. Because of, I am not able to leverage what is possible. But no one has talked here, it was very surprising, how in Indian context, women who were 20 years or 25 years back were not financial entity for banks, they were untouchables for the banks. They have come together. I'm talking of SHGs. They have come together. They have made themselves financial entity. They are able to leverage the bank and bring into their life different livelihoods, and they are contributing to GDP. In a gross way, it is substantial. In individual way, it may look very small, but in their life, it is very critical. So, what I am trying to say is the livelihood inclusion is the ultimate aim to which the financial inclusion should subscribe. So, financial inclusion per se should not be seen. We have done so many accounts, KYC accounts, RBI has been very magnanimous in relaxing their norms so that more and more KYC compliance happens. But instead of KYC, as I said in some workshops also, we should look at GYC, how you can grow with your customer. Once he has come for some reason, his name has come, father's name has come, something, address has come, banks need to find ways to look into his needs and tailor what type of EMI, what type of product is applicable. Don't burden them with products which ultimately will ruin them. This is the thought I should leave with the students who are there. They are very technology savvy. They may suggest ways which are transactional and number will increase. But that is not the end of financial inclusion. Financial inclusion should proceed to livelihood inclusion. I will stop with one lifetime experience which I had here. My friend Mr. N.C. he knows, Nirod. There was I have a driver for my car. So he saw at some stage, apart from helping me in my mobility, for which he gets whatever payment I give him, he thought he was driving auto. At some stage the idea came, can he own the auto? Okay. Now if you think of only inclusion, he has a bank account. Of course, he has a smartphone also. He has a bank account, he is included, he keeps money, everything is all right. But when it comes to financial inclusion and to going to livelihood, if he wants an auto of 2 lakhs or 2.5 lakhs, he has to give 60,000 margin. Okay? So that is required, the margin capital or something. That he organized also. The beautiful part is, here is a person, I am not talking of SHGs who are far flung, that will take more time. I saw here, he could organize his 60,000 from whatever relations that is with him. Now we go to the bank, because he works with me, we went to a bank. Say, hope loans we see everywhere, hope loans. He has a hope to grow, his children are there. Go there, the branch manager very positively, because I facilitated, I said, this is the position. She gave so many things, he should bring this. Almost out of that 8-10 things, he has, I said, all these things are there. He has a PAN card, he has a driving license, he has this. Then afterwards, second day when he goes there, they have contacted and they said, you should have a cab license. It's not enough that you have a driving license. He is driving a 4-wheeler, he has driven enough autos. Now, the reality is, the rule says he should have a cab license. That is not getting ticked. And cab license, he says, sir, I will apply. It will take 1 year to come. I will show the learning license. Even then they hesitated. They said, you better go to the LHO. Why? Because McKinsey's have done the restructuring of the organization. So they have pushed up the things instead of putting it here. So many branches, instead of everyone processing the small business loans, they should be done here. Now, he was directed that you go and meet him and tell he may relax, because we don't have powers for a loan of 1,80,000. Then he hesitated, sir, I don't know whom I will go. Then I said, okay, there is another bank nearby, let's go there. I had a very interesting experience. But it's a positive experience. Don't think I am describing a negative thing. But this is how it passes through when it comes to actual last mile inclusion in the livelihood space. Financial inclusion is only a pathway. It's a subset for what is going to happen in lives. So we went to that bank. We met the branch manager who was not sitting in the cabin. She was sitting outside doing some work maybe. Then we said, this is the simple thing. He has the margin, he has everything, he knows driving, he will do. There one of the conditions required is, he requires last 3 years income tax return you have. I said, madam, he has a PAN card. He has no income. What is the question of income tax return? No, last 3 years income tax returns. That is the requirement in our bank. I said, hey, bottleneck. Then I said, then she gave a solution. She says, sir, you do one thing. You stand full guarantee to this loan. Then we'll, against your guarantee, we'll finance. I said, what is this? Everywhere we are hearing in the workshop, we are saying collateral is not required up to this. I don't know presently, RBI should say how much it is. He is giving his margin. You will hypothecate the low auto and all that. Then we came out. I have no point trying to educate unless they come to such seminars and get educated probably. Now we went. I have talked to Nirod also, because that time he had worked through some agent. And he has gone to some other commercial bank, same public sector bank. And in 7 days' time, his loan is sanctioned. Now he has paid 2 months EMI, loan is sanctioned. Whatever is the thing. All that I am saying is, different banks adopting different rules and getting stuck with that, the managerial obsolescence which you can see, the interpretation of that, the courage which is required when you think in a transforming way, not a transactional way. If they see 1.5 lakh loan, nahi hone se bhi, my target will be achieved, what is there? Why should I bother? Why should I change the rules? So when you go into that dimension, technology will make you transactionally. Today, someone has done 10,000 accounts, you can say, sir, I am better because I can do 15,000 in transactions. It will happen. But transforming actually livelihood inclusion, which is the ultimate aim. If you do with that, the quotient which I think our CAB principal was saying, people with those empathy quotient can certainly do it better. If they empathize with those people, that what needs to be done. I am not saying circumventing the rules, but interpretation of the rules for its ultimate objective. So I would only say, as you go for your work, or I think hopefully you are in Management Institute or some other institute. I think someone came from Vihar also, Commerce Department. Now, as you go, please, you will work for a living. Everyone has done that. Also, keep in mind whether you can work for life. You can work for you have so much of exposure, so much of knowledge, so much of all these have become in your life, it has come. Can you, a time has come in a distributive way, can you help them? Can you, in some village, do something which will impact lives of others, apart from doing living? That's what I'm saying. The time has come and many people are doing it. So, not that it may look that we have not done, we are saying it to others, no, but young people with their energy, enthusiasm, possibly they can certainly do it. And lastly, I would say, if you are not able to do what you cannot do, you need not curse yourself. But if you must reflect in life what you can do and you are not doing. And I take this area as something a person can do. Some, not big way, 5 people combined together, they can do much more. So if you can do certain things and you are not doing, I think you need to reflect and do something. Because there is so much to be done in the Indian context when it comes to livelihood inclusion with the help of financial inclusion and in a digital way. In the days ahead, it is going to be digital way. And my confidence is digital, rural people, poor rural people will pick up equally with other people when it comes to digital or technological use. Because I have seen the boy who was working at my home, because of course I am slightly technologically less literate, the way he understands the technology and does, and he guides us, I said he has not read anything, but he is able to do that. So there is no reason that new technology you cannot make them experience and they move forward. Thank you.